Have you ever wondered how to face life's adversities with calm and strength? They have been stranded thousands of miles from home, without money or possessions. Such a situation would cause despair, and may many curse their horrible fate. But for Zeno, became the basis of his work and the legacy of his life. The merchant, once wealthy, lost everything when it was wrecked in around 300 BC. Without much to do, entered a bookstore, read about Socrates, and was intrigued. He began to search and study with the city's famous philosophers. As Zeno began to educate his own students, laid the foundations of the philosophy known as Stoicism, whose teachings on virtue, tolerance, and self-control have inspired generations of thinkers and leaders. The word Stoicism comes from the Greek stoa, the decorated public colonnade, where Zeno and his disciples gathered for gatherings. Today we use the word Stoic, colloquially, to refer to someone who remains calm, under pressure, and avoids emotional extremes. But while this reflects important aspects of Stoicism, the original philosophy was more than just an attitude. The Stoics believed that everything around us operates in accordance with a cause and effect network, which resulted in a rational structure of the universe called logos. And although we cannot always control the events that affect us, we can have control over how we approach things. In an attempt to imagine an ideal society, the Stoic tries to deal with the world as it is, while pursuing his personal development through 4 cardinal virtues: practical accuracy, the ability to cope with complex situations in a logical way, well-founded and calm; temperance, the exercise of self-control and moderation in all aspects of life; justice, treat others impartially even when they have erred; and present courage, not only in extraordinary circumstances, but when facing daily challenges with clarity and integrity. As Seneca wrote, one of the most famous Roman writers, sometimes even living is an act of courage. But while Stoicism focuses on personal improvement, is not an egocentric philosophy. In an era in which Roman law considered slaves to be property, Seneca asked for humane treatment for them, and emphasized that we all share the same fundamental humanity. Stoicism also does not encourage passivity. The idea is that only those who cultivated virtue and self-control can bring about positive change in others. One of the most famous Stoic writers was one of the great Roman emperors. Stoicism. It represents Marcus Aurelius during the course of his 19-year reign. To lead the empire by facing 2 important wars, and to face the loss of many of their children. Centuries later, Marco's diaries would guide and comfort Nelson during his 27 years in prison, during their struggle for racial equality in South Africa. After his release and eventual victory, Azerbaijan emphasized the importance of peace and reconciliation, convinced that, while the injustices of the past could not be changed, their people could confront them in the present to build a better and fairer future. Stoicism was a school of active philosophy for several centuries in Greece and Rome. Disappeared as a formal institution, but it remains an influential philosophy. Christian theologians, as Thomas Aquinas, admired and adopted their approach to virtues. There are similarities between Stoic or peace of mind and the Buddhists' concept of nirvana. A particularly influential Stoic was the philosopher Epictetus, who wrote that suffering does not derive from the events of our lives, but of our judgments about them. This has resonated strongly in modern psychology and the self-help movement. For example, rational emotional behavioral therapy focuses on changing self-destructive attitudes that people express in the face of their circumstances in life. There is also the logotherapy of Frankl, developed by Frankl himself, based on his experience as a prisoner in a concentration camp. Logotherapy is governed by the Stoic principle that we can use our willpower to give meaning to our lives, even in the bleakest situations. to learn more about how to apply Stoicism in your daily life. Subscribe to the Stoic Success channel. See you there.